Bigger load for Drew Holiday to carry today as the Pelicans hit Memphis. No Anthony Davis, remember, expected to miss a week, maybe even two after spraining his left index finger on Friday. Pelicans hit Memphis in a clash of styles, to say the least. One of the fastest-paced teams in the league against the slowest. Dr. Martin Luther King, his day here in Atlanta, his birthplace, his resting place as well. A special day for the United States. It's Isaiah Thomas, Kevin McHale, Hall of Famers both. I'm Matt Weiner. Good to have you along with us. Some news on this holiday, which is a little unusual, but kind of could see coming because from a procedural point of view, the Houston Rockets had to clear space to sign Kenneth Faried, who they hope will play tonight against the Philadelphia 76ers. And Adrian Wojnarowski tweeted, as he is wont to do, that the Rockets have agreed to trade Carmelo Anthony and cash to the Chicago Bulls. We expect the Bulls then to turn him around and release him for Melo to become a free agent. It'll save the Rockets some cap money moving forward, and Melo will become, as I said, a free agent available to anybody around the league. The question here, guys, is what kind of market will there be for Carmelo Anthony at this stage of his career and at this stage of the season?
I think there will always be a market for a guy that can score the basketball and be a good teammate. And I think the last part of it is when Carmelo gets interviewed by different teams, they will be trying to ascertain if he can be a good teammate, right? And if he can be a good teammate, I don't think people question his talent on the offensive side of the ball. I think they question, A, is he coachable? And B, can he be a good teammate? Because if you're coachable and you can be a good teammate, then there's a place for you in this league. I think what's happened to him in Houston, unfortunately, is that people question if he's coachable or can he be a good teammate. And the last part, last question I got is, do you think Wojo knew before Carmelo?
Probably,
I think Carmelo knew this was coming because procedurally they had to get it done today.
And that
probably
was
knew
just
something
a
was going to
joke
happen.
because Wojo's so good.
Yeah.
He always has the scoop.
Well, here's the
Woj
potential.
broke it to Melo. He called
Yeah,
you get
Very well,
credit.
Mike. Here are the potential cons on this from Carmelo Anthony. He's coming off his worst season as a pro last year. He's 34 going on 35. He's only played 2 games so far this season. How many teams are interested in that guy? I guess if you're a borderline team and you need something off your bench and he's willing to be that guy, maybe you take a chance?
Well, I don't know. I'm just going to be honest. I look at him as a defensive liability right now. He's not able to guard. In a switching league where everybody's getting out and doing so much switching, the length and the ability to move your feet, block shots, just be disruptive defensively is huge. He's never been disruptive defensively. He's always been an average to poor defender.
Yeah.
And then you hit on the biggest thing, Zeke. You're just saying, if I'm a young team, okay, and we're struggling a little bit, maybe to score some points, and he might help us in that area. Do I want to bring him into our locker room? And is he going to be a positive influence on all these young guys that you're trying to explain to them? It's not about putting up numbers. It's about putting up wins.
Yeah.
It's not about how many numbers you can get. It's how good you can make your teammate. It's not all about you. It's about us. A little less me, a lot more we. Does he fit into that? And if if you're a GM, there's a lot of questions you got to ask yourself with that guy.
Well, we'll find out soon enough. He's expected to be released today. The deal won't go through formally today because it's a holiday, probably tomorrow, and then he'll become a free agent available to anybody, and we'll see what the market is for 34-year-old Carmelo Anthony.
Okay, the only question on that is the animal going to shoot threes in Houston? Everybody else shoots them.
Well, yeah, that's you either going to shoot a 3 or you're going to shoot a layup. And
He can have a lot of layups and
I think
dunks,
he's the layup part of that equation.
well, in his mind, I'm sure he's been working on his 3.
Oh, I like to see this. I can't wait. He's like, here we go, baby.
The big man's dream, right? It's like, I finally find a coach who's going to let me shoot the 3, and I'm going to prove to all of you that I can shoot the 3.
There you go.
Figures to get some of Clint Capella's minutes. Of course, Capella is out for the next few weeks for the Rockets. They are playing very small here lately. Let's bounce around. 4th straight win for the Bucks, who have now won 16 of their last 19. One of the headlines, though, is Doncic becomes the second teenager ever to record a triple-double.
Okay, and we missed the whole lead on this whole story. There was two Antetokounmpos arm in arm before the game. You know that picture they had?
Yeah.
How often can you say two Antetokounmpos? I mean, one Antetokounmpo is hard enough to say, but when you throw two Antetokounmpos out there.
I believe the plural is Antetokounmpi.
Oh, Antetokounmpi.
We'll check the research. But,
yeah, exactly. I hear it.
I just call him Giannis and Lil Giannis.
Giannis and Giannis' little brother.
Yeah, that's Lil Giannis right there.
Costas, by the way, was drafted last by the Mavericks, the 60th overall pick. Let's talk about Doncic here a little bit. He's putting up numbers 26 and 5. He would be the third rookie in NBA history to put up those numbers. The other two are Oscar Robertson and Michael Jordan.
Yeah.
If you're underestimating what Luka Doncic has done, it's pretty remarkable.
It's remarkable and impressive, and it's real. You know, this isn't a fluke.
Right.
He's not having a good month. He's not having a good couple of weeks. I mean, he's the real deal, and he's only going to get better. Yep. And he also has, in my opinion, the perfect coach for him in Rick Carlisle, because Carlisle has put him in positions where he can be successful. Not only has he put him in positions where he can be successful, but he's moved him all around the floor, and he's letting him use the total, repertoire of all his skills. So I like what Luka, I like who Luka is, and I like what Carlisle has really done and the way the team has bought into him.
Yeah, the reason that it's real, he plays at his own pace. He just goes fast when he wants to go fast.
Mm-hmm.
Other than that, he takes his time. He sees the entire court. I mean, to do the ball fakes he does, he gets guys, he does the okie-doke, puts it over their head,
yeah,
and brings it back, and then shoots it, or puts it over their head. He's so calm with the ball. Yeah. He's made really big shots for this team when they needed them in crunch situations. But yet, he sees the court so well. You see some guys that come in our league and they just play 100 miles an hour, and their speed kind of gets everybody. He just plays at his own pace. And when you play at your own pace, the more you get accustomed to the league and the more you get comfortable, the better you play. So he's just going to get better. Because he's doing it with this. I mean, he's got a really high basketball IQ, knows how to play. So I'm looking forward to it, and I think you're right. I think Coach Carlisle does a tremendous job with him. Now, can they incorporate Smith back in the fold and get Dennis Smith playing well with him? Because I think that Smith's a heck of an athlete, should be able to play off him. And if they can get that thing solved, that's two nice young pieces.
Very nice young pieces.
For Dallas to grow with. But
and I think Smith, skill-wise, really complements Luka, because he's athletic, he's electrifying, he can do things in the air, he can bring the crowd into it, he can handle the ball sometimes, you can run Luka off. So I mean, skill-wise, they really fit. Now, chemistry-wise, do they fit? And when you have two young players like that, sometimes it doesn't work out because personalities do clash. But Luka's the real deal.
If you've been following this story, you know that Dennis Smith Jr. has been away from the team. He's missed 5 games in a row now, apparently just because he's unhappy about his role and about the way Rick Carlisle has used him, and perhaps about the way Rick Carlisle has coached Luka Doncic relative to the way he's been coached. They expect him to return to the team and be back by Tuesday. You just saw the Magic and the Atlanta.
Toronto continues to lead the NBA in wins and have now won 8 of their last 10. Doug Smith has been covering these Raptors since the inception of the franchise. He joins us now. Hey, Pascal Siakam is the new exciting toy that they have there as far as his development. Hit the game winner against the Phoenix Suns. Tell us about how that built his confidence even more and the team having confidence in him.
I think, Chris, that's the point, is that now they have another option, they think, at the end of games, and it boosts the players' confidence in Pascal to say, hey, we're going to give you the ball, go make something happen. And he did. And it was the first time, I bet you it's the first time in his career at any level where they called a dribble play for him at the buzzer of a tie game. So the fact that he did it, I think, boosts his confidence, but I also think it gives guys like Kawhi Leonard, Kyle Lowry, Danny Green, another thought process at the end of close games, that we got another guy who can do something for us.
Hey, Doug, hi, this is Booz. How you doing?
Hey, Booz. Not bad, thanks.
I wanted to ask you, Toronto's been a terrific team all season long. Who do you think is their best competition to get to the NBA Finals, whether it's Philadelphia, Boston, Milwaukee? Who do you see being their toughest competition?
I still think Boston. I know they're scuffling a little bit right now, but they've been there before. Milwaukee the second place, well, by percentage points leading the Eastern Conference, and are very, very good. But Boston is that sort of time-tested group. conference finals last year without Kyrie and Gordon Hayward. They got them back. They just played, they always play Toronto great games. They had a great game up in Boston on Wednesday night. I think if you're looking at a matchup that the Raptors would probably not like to have, Boston as a proven winner with a bunch of veterans would probably be it.
Doug, I'm going to be a fan for a second like I live in Toronto. So my question for you is to use the word the process. How do you think the process is going making Kawhi Leonard happy? How does Masai Ujiri, from the front office down to the fan base, making Kawhi feel like this should be his new home for the rest of his career?
I think what the organization's doing is really simple. They're leaving him alone. Kawhi, here's the key to the gym. Come and shoot. Do whatever you want to do. The city's nice. Whatever you need, let us know. We'll take care of it. But there's no pressure. There's no all-out full-court press trying to kiss up to him every day. They're letting the team's success and the fact that here he's the guy and he can go about his business not anonymously but relatively anonymously. And frankly, if you want to win for the next 3 or 4 years, I think the Eastern Conference and Toronto is where you might want to be. I know the Clippers are there, and I get that the Lakers might have some draw, but are they any closer to playing for a championship than Toronto is in the East? I don't think so.
Kawhi Leonard going to sit out tonight. We know he's rested the second night of back-to-backs all season, but they last played on Thursday night, so why is he sitting this one out?
We asked Nick Nurse that just an hour ago, Chris, before the game. He said just the medical people decided that tonight's another good night to rest. And, he did take off Thursday night after he played a lot of minutes in Boston on Wednesday. He had played the most minutes of the season in Washington in a double overtime game on Sunday. I think the cumulative effect is, okay, you know what, if we got to give up a game in January so we got him fresh in April, May, and June, that's okay. This is going to give him a break from he played Wednesday night and then he'll play again until Tuesday, almost a week off. And I think that sort of cumulative rest on the leg is going to be good for him in the long run. And frankly, they operate pretty well without him.
Yeah, and I was going to take you right there, Doug, where I think it's a two-part thing where, one, let's keep our good relationship going and let him have an extra day off. But we've also learned that our second unit and other guys actually have played great basketball this season with him off the floor.
Oh, they've come a long way. Since early in the year, last year's second unit was outstanding. But it changed dramatically this year with Jonas Valanciunas added to it, OG Anunoby added to it when they moved, when they got Danny Green as the starter and Kawhi Leonard as a starter there. So it's taken a little while, but now that they've had a little bit of time to mesh, the team sees it. Their record without Kawhi, I think, is something like 8-2. It's really, really good. And their other guys are being able to step up and be asked to do things that maybe will pay off later on in the year.
Doug Smith, Toronto Star, appreciate your time. Thank you.
Good stuff, Doug.
My pleasure.
Thanks, Doug.
Anytime. All right, guys.
He mentioned something towards the end there, and it's Jonas Valanciunas, right? And that's a guy where he was incredible early in the year, and they're bringing him off the bench now. He's been a starter for them for years, and he's thrived in that role just as good as he was as a starter coming off the bench while he's been out. Then you look at what Kyle Lowry, who missed 10 games and is shooting just 32% from the floor since he's returned, yet they still have won 6 of their last 7. I mean, this is a team that it just seems like adversity, what is that?
Yeah, because once again, you bring in a star quality guy like Kawhi, and then you continue to build within. So Siakam's gotten better, DeLon Wright's gotten better, Van Fleet's gotten better, OG's gotten better. So, and CJ Miles hasn't even shot the ball well yet. So that's another guy that we know has, playoff pedigree that can shoot the basketball and help stretch the floor. And then you got a guy like Greg Monroe, nobody wanted, and now he stepped in when Valanciunas got hurt with the hand injury. So it lets you know they're very, very deep. But I think Nick Nurse has done an excellent job letting each guy know when someone goes down, here's your opportunity. Go out there and play. Don't play like you're playing to lose.
Yeah, they've been one of the deepest teams for the last couple seasons. And they continue to prove that now, especially you heard what Doug said. They're 8-2 even without Kawhi being out there, which is very impressive and hard to do. It's hard to have that kind of success when your star player's out.
All right, Kyle Lowry started the season hot from the field, leading the NBA in assists, and his shot has really been the thing that struggled. What are you seeing with his shooting? Is it his form? Is it his legs? What do you see as being a part of his struggle?
I think maybe some with the legs, but I thought Booz, because we know he's one of those guys, with his conditioning, I thought he came back the season in pretty good condition.
Yeah.
I think it's a stretch in the season that things are not going well from a shooting standpoint, but his leadership and sharing the basketball, I think it's still premium.
Yeah, Kyle's he's a pro. He's a great pro. He does a great job of getting guys involved. He's still a pit bull out there. They still trust him, obviously. He's a very good defender, good playmaker, doesn't take any plays off. So whether we've seen this before in the playoffs, too, where he's lost a little confidence in his jump shot, but he still played hard and played well. And obviously, they've had great success despite that. So as the season goes along, CJ starts shooting better. He starts shooting better. Team's going to be very good.
Certainly, we're seeing the evolution of the Toronto Raptors right in front of us as they're leading the NBA in wins. And there's an evolution of facial hair here. See, 0 here, a little bit there. Yeah. Boo's got the full beard, but then there is the bearded 1. James Harden kind of dialed back on the dress code tonight, right? Yeah.
Put the jacket on.
And you know, that to me is courtside certified. I think when they take it too far, I don't know
Can
about
he pull his pants down a little bit?
Ankle biters.
You got a man capri pants.